Atlantia vivere, my holy people, the holiest of the holy, the strongest of the strong, and the most righteous being of the 4D quantum ethical continuum. I wish to talk to you today about the emergency protocols of Atlantis. It is important to understand that the Sun has two twins. One twin is a black hole or a singularity, which can also be used as a stargate to distant galaxies, as a galactic gate. This twin is located in the other focus point, or foci point, the other focus point of the ellipsa on which all the planets in the solar system rotate. On one focus point there is the Sun, on the other focus point there is a mass equal to the Sun, which is a dead star or a black hole. Another twin of the Sun, the third twin, is the planet called Nibiru, which is actually a brown dwarf. It rotates every 600 or every 5,400 years around the Sun, depending on the speed at which this planet, this tiny little blue planet of ours, is rotating around the Sun. It is important to understand that each time Nibiru and these four planets, which are inhabited by the Anunnaki, visit us, this planet is slowed down or I make to go faster around the Sun. So my rotation period around the Sun are between 260 and 400 days. When the rotation period is 260 days, every 5,400 years this Nibiru dead star brown dwarf comes. When the revolution period is 400 days, every 3,600 years this Nibiru comes to visit us. This explains the discrepancy in the recordings. So, perhaps you wonder why I show my teeth, my bad teeth here, because I wish people which are not in tune with Atlantis to not watch this video. I wish to cast them aside. And last time this tragedy has happened, there were a lot of tidal waves and earthquakes and things which killed 42 billion people on this planet. But we had the moon station which protects us, and we also had the protocols, the emergency protocols of Atlantis, all of which were approved by yours truly, by my sister Artemis, by the great gods Hephaestus, Aphrodite, Dionysus and Athena, by Zeus and Gea, and by all the members of the Great Council of Atlantis, a civilization, a galactic civilization greater than space and time, or universal civilization, because you are now consciousness like Lemurians, like the Red Race. The capital of the Red Race is in India now, of course, not in Philippines, or in Southern America, like it was in the old times, or in Northern America. You see that arc, when you watch Timescapes, there is an arc of stone. That was the capital in the Appalachia, or the Rocky Mountains, the USA. It was the capital of Lemuria, of the Red Race, before the last nuclear encounter with them 50,000 or 100,000 or 150, I don't know, remember, years ago. Or maybe I do, but I don't want to tell you. Because I know in great detail many things which I didn't tell you. And I don't believe that this generation deserves the right to know them, because they acted so poorly with me and my sister Artemis. We were only implementing the emergency protocol 103 of the Atlantis. You know, but about this later. And I know in great detail, I know how to lead a team of scientists to build all the wonders, the technological wonders which I explained to you, the cloaking device, the flying saucer, the lenticular anti-gravitational air and space vehicles that they are called by Henry Fonda, the anti-graviton plants, which are much better than fusion plants and much ecological and disaster-free in nature. And I also know how to build a magnetic shield to protect a city, a cloaking device from a human being, a magnetic shield for a human being, a laser, a plasma cannon, antimatter cannons, jump drives, and so on. And I can also give you a tour of the omniverse, because we had in the old times of Atlantis, we had jump drives, which, you know, you have to create a singularity, which is a black hole. What do you expect? You don't expect a fairy to make sex with her, to fuck her good, because I didn't make sex since April 2009, to take you by hand and take you around the omniverse and explore different versions of history. No, you expect this to a black hole or a white hole, which is also called a stargate. You know, stargates are actually black holes. And your body is disintegrated when you enter the black hole or the event horizon, and the information, which is your spirit, is transmitted to the other end, and then you recreate yourself. You know, there is no technology to record every molecule in your body. When you are a dragon, you look like a dragon, and yourself a mix of your true appearance and a dragon, but you're also thinking like you and behaving like yourself. So, this is the tiny secret of teleportation and Stargate manipulation. Your body is actually disintegrated and recreated on the other side. Yes. And the other side of the black hole, white hole, because any black hole, when it is fucked enough with energy, it becomes red and it turns white and poof, it explodes, boom, 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 into new universes and multiverses and omniverses, where you have different versions of yourself. There is a different version of me, which is now very happy because he is the leader of the world anyway. And the one which is paying much more, others which are paying much less than I am. So, I will still like my sister, things like Britney Spears, tell you this. The emergency protocols of Atlantis were emergency protocol 100 or 100 or 100, as you Americans say. It was decided to build a lot of protection mechanisms or magnetic shields for cities, which will be powered by the sun itself. So the power, the flame of the sun, which comes due to the attraction of Nibiru towards this tiny blue planet of mine, which I have built in 2.5 billion years, and everyone should be grateful to me for this, should be protected by a global shield. But unfortunately, that shield had to be enforced by crystals. You can find great crystals in all our underground chambers and temples and pyramids. But it was not enough. We could not protect even 1/10 of our planet. So Protocol 101 was implemented. Tiny pieces of Eden called apples, round things, were manufactured, and we control the savages on our planet with them. And we make them into telepaths, and we send them in suits, in cosmic suits, from our starship, of course, my horse, to protect us from the flames. So with their telepathical ability, they will diminish, and in fact they did so, they greatly diminish the flames from the sun. The coronal mass ejection, as you call them now. But it was not enough, and the other protocol 102 was to store our memories, our entire lives, into computers which were placed at sea bottoms, at the bottom of the Black Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, in the Atlantic Ocean, North, South, the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, in the area of the Philippines, which in the areas where the great civilizations were, among those pyramids, because we hope that they will not notice us. We presume that after the destruction of Atlantis and Lemuria, all the Lemurians might catch us from behind in the tech race, which of course did not happen, and they will get first to our pyramids and explore them, and they will take us prisoners, or our memories. But our souls were not trapped by these computers, only our memories and life experience. That is what is said in the Hymn of Heroes in Romania. Open the great pyramids of the past, read the immortal song, which is our thoughts from the round things, round golden books, and which are the apples, and other things like this. So if you have, and I know that you Illuminati have some apples, 3 or 4 apples are also, I know for a fact, in the city of Atlantis, located in the Bucegi Mountains. And in order to get there, because I understand that the first diplomat that you sent was cast aside. He was not killed, but he was cast aside, because you have to say Atlantia Libera and wait for a few minutes, because the leader of Atlantis, that woman which came to greet you, is actually the praetor of the local council of the city. Of course, she will not say this to you, because there are different paradigms. One has to assume the allure and responsibility of leadership in Atlantis, while in the Dragon Continuum, they usually send a woman, a princess, to take you to the big boss, which is actually a king or tsar or krai or ktai or an emperor or something like that. So, out of our great modesty, which you can see how modest I am, I am beautiful. I am handsome. I'm smart, and I'm modest, especially. Yes, and due to our great modesty, we don't recognize that we are actually members in the Great Council of Atlantis. You know, after the great burning of our world, very few people remain, very few Atlantis and very few Lemurians, and so in the Great Council of Atlantis, which also every survivor, every original survivor from Atlantis was a member of the Great Council, because we were only 12 or 15 people remaining. The savages were a lot more. We have decided to spread ourselves around by making sex with the savages. Women had this coming much better. Britney Spears, in this life she recouped the handicap, and now she has 3 extras, 3 savages ahead of me. That is why she's saying in one of her videos, I want to spread myself around. It is actually the emergency protocol 103. And I declare now an end to it, because this world no longer needs. We have thousands of avatars, you know. A woman in which I serve my spirit, the spirit of Lucifer, the spirit of Apollo spreads, is a tiny Apollo. And you can ask yourself, how do we know that you are not an avatar yourself? Maybe someone else is Apollo the true. Well, avatars don't know how to build our technology. They don't know about the council, they don't know how to assume position, they don't know how to vote about, they don't know how the secrets are located. They only have should I say, the basic knowledge of Atlantis, how our society is organized. Maybe I am an avatar myself, try me. And Britney Spears, or my sister Artemis, also she's spreading herself around by making sex with. All her videos are about making sex, but also there are some encrypted messages for me, which she said, hey, I know I'm young, but I have feelings too, something, a message to Lucifer. And she also gave me, because she said when she was pregnant, that I have to renounce, to give up the emergency protocol 103, which I am declaring dead now. So the emergency protocol 103 is dead. Also, I don't show up my age. I don't show that I have 40,000 years old. I show myself as a young man, because I like to be young, so that I act foolishly. Maybe I acted too foolishly for my people, because you know that Tsar of Krishna, he was thrown out for not being industrial enough and not making enough money. The boyfriend of my mother, Nico from Brilla City, who likes a lot more teas than I do, he's 60 years old, and he said, well, 1 year ago in September 2013 when my uncle died, he said, and I asked forgiveness for the Illuminati and Freemason for what I did against them. I did not mean to do that, I didn't mean to tell my aunt, but I had to, because I need some money to live. You understand this. You have not paid me, you also did not pay me those $10 million and 10 virgins, or 7,707 virgins, including the Olenesh 10. All the castle that Premier Ponta gave a year ago to the church, to the secret services, to the army, and all. The Olenesh Palace, the Brad Complex, and others. Some palaces in Kobazna. I don't remember. So I need to spread myself around. I need to recoup the advantages that Britney Spears, my sister Artemis, has upon me. And I know she started to act like Artemis, and I'm no longer supposed to act like Apollo, but I will until the 19th of October, because I have promised when I condemn to death a Plato that I will work for 16 years, 1 month and 3 days for you. So short story long story short, so until the 19th of October 2014 I have to still work. So I have to work still for you. That's it. So as Petro, Vice Petro Atlantis, I know that my sister, do not be spooked about her. She is working in the best interest of America. I know that she started to write messages to political leaders and doing stuff like this. You know, the civilization of America is not a true civilization because people are shooting themselves on the street. It's more like a free-for-all games with guns, with live guns, and the players unfortunately don't return to participate. It is a melange between hunting and sport. It is like the old sports where all the members or the captain of the old team which lost the game were decapitated the old time. And in the same way, in our country, Romania is a true civilization, but we are a philosopher, by influence between philosophy, diplomacy, and arts. It is like a melange between philosophy and arts. We don't have true sports. All our championships are arranged. It is well known what the champion will be, what the vice champion will be. The team or the owner which pays more money usually. And our sport competition are more like theater, Our trainers gather people from all around the country to a special center in Devon, some gymnasts, and they train only 8, 6 or 15 of them, and they train the ones which behave the most nicely, in the most artistic way. And also our footballers, it is very hard to be a good actor and promote yourself to be sold in the exterior with a large sum of money, and in order to have a good life in the exterior in the foreign countries, and at the same time respect the script which says this game has to end 2-0 or 5-2 or 3-1 in order for the bookmakers, for people who make money out of booking games, the booking agency, in which you go as a free man and say, well, I want to bet the betting agent. Yes, the betting agencies for sports gain a lot of money from this theater of sports of ours. So this is how things work really here. We have something which resembles sports in Romania and hunting, and we have something which resembles a civilization because I am the god of civilization. So perhaps we should change places. I should change my place with Atlantis, she should change place with me. Or maybe I will come to you in America and will help you build a civilization because you're a young nation and you deserve this. These old civilizations of the past, yes, they know a lot of things. That is why they behave like this, in this way, in this common way with me, the Atlantean god, the white god of Atlantis, because I work a lot of them and they are a little bit bored with me. That is why my own mother told me, well, I don't want you to be Tsar of Ktai, of Krai, of Ardea, which is the toughest region. I want Nicur from Belasiti, my boyfriend, to be, and you will take the crown. Perhaps you see I have 3 crowns put onto my head, to be Tsar of Krishna in his place. No. And this has happened, unfortunately, for 2 years in between the age of 34 and 36, because some dragons say that 34 is the age of true nature, the others say that 36 is the age of true nature, because 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times 6 is 18. Well, actually the real maturity age is 37 years and 4 days. Why? Because there are 52 cycles of 260 days each, and you return to the day in which you were born. At 37 years old and 4 days. Of course, women are women, they spread their legs and make children and so on. So women only at the age of 26 they are half as men. Maybe we consider. Anyway, goodbye, my friend.